Poseidon, one of the 12 Olympian gods, is the Greek god of the sea, earthquakes, storms, and horses. As one of the most powerful and significant deities in Greek mythology, Poseidon wielded immense influence over both the natural world and the lives of mortals. He was considered the ruler of the seas, and his domain extended to all bodies of water, from the tranquil shores to the wild, unpredictable depths. Known for his volatile nature, Poseidon was both revered and feared by the ancient Greeks, who understood the ocean's capacity for both creation and destruction. Poseidon was the son of the Titans Cronus and Rhea, making him one of the first generation of Olympian gods. He had two brothers, Zeus, the king of the gods, and Hades, the god of the underworld. After the Olympians defeated the Titans in the Titanomachy, the three brothers divided the realms of the world among themselves. Zeus took the sky, Hades claimed the underworld, and Poseidon was given dominion over the sea, a vast and powerful domain that would become closely associated with his identity. Poseidon was often depicted as a regal, muscular figure holding a trident, a three-pronged spear, which symbolized his authority and control over the seas. His trident was capable of stirring up storms, causing earthquakes, and even creating new bodies of water, showcasing his power over both the ocean and the earth. Poseidon's realm was vast, encompassing everything from calm coastlines to storm-tossed waters. The ancient Greeks looked to Poseidon to bring them safe voyages across the seas, but they also feared his wrath when provoked. Poseidon's influence and involvement in Greek myths were vast and varied. He was known for his volatile temperament, which could bring either calm seas or terrifying storms, depending on his mood. He was considered both a protective figure and a punishing one, reflecting the dual nature of the sea itself, nourishing and bountiful on one hand, dangerous and destructive on the other. One of the most famous stories involving Poseidon is the Iliad, where he plays a central role in the Trojan War. Poseidon is initially sympathetic to the Greeks and helps them during the conflict, even going so far as to fight against the Trojans. However, his allegiance shifts, and he becomes involved in the divine battles that shape the outcome of the war. Poseidon's interventions were pivotal to the war's progress, showcasing the way in which the gods influenced the fates of mortals. Another important story involving Poseidon is his rivalry with the goddess Athena over the patronage of the city of Athens. According to myth, both Poseidon and Athena sought to become the protector of Athens, each offering a gift to the city. Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, producing a saltwater spring or a horse depending on the version, while Athena offered the olive tree, which would provide food, oil, and wood for the people. The Athenians chose Athena's gift, and in retaliation, Poseidon sent a great flood to punish the city. This myth illustrates Poseidon's power to both create and destroy, as well as his competitive and often vengeful nature. Poseidon's relationship with his brothers, Zeus and Hades, was a key part of his mythology. Although the three brothers shared power and often worked together to maintain order in the world, Poseidon's nature as the god of the sea sometimes put him at odds with Zeus, the god of the sky, especially in tales where the seas and the skies were in conflict. However, Poseidon was also part of a divine team, as seen in the myth of the Argonauts. In this story, Poseidon, along with other gods, aids the heroes on their quest for the Golden Fleece, demonstrating his role as a protector of sailors and travelers. In addition to being the god of the sea, Poseidon was also the god of horses, and his connection to them was an important aspect of his identity. He was credited with creating the first horse, and he was often depicted as a horse-riding figure in various artistic representations. Poseidon's association with horses was linked to his ability to bring storms and sea currents, as horses were seen as creatures that could run wild and fast, much like the powerful forces of the ocean. In some versions of mythology, Poseidon's creation of horses is connected to his love of Demeter. When Demeter was grieving the loss of her daughter Persephone, Poseidon attempted to win her affection. In one myth, he transformed into a stallion to pursue her, and in doing so, he created the horse as a symbol of both his power and his divine presence. This connection to horses reinforced Poseidon's role as a force of both fertility and destruction, able to give life and shape the natural world, but also capable of unleashing chaos when angered. Poseidon was not a god who could easily be appeased. When angered, he could unleash powerful storms and earthquakes. The Greeks feared his wrath, as the sea was both essential for trade and travel and yet also dangerous and unpredictable. One famous story of Poseidon's anger involves the punishment of Odysseus in the Odyssey. After Odysseus blinds Poseidon's son, the Cyclops Polyphemus, Poseidon curses him, making his journey home long and treacherous. Poseidon's vengeful nature reflects the ancient Greeks' understanding of the unpredictable power of the sea, as well as the need to respect the forces of nature and the gods who controlled them. In another story, Poseidon's wrath is evident in his involvement in the building of the walls of Troy. In the myth, Poseidon and Apollo are forced to serve the Trojan king Laomedon as punishment for an earlier transgression. They build the great walls of Troy, but when Laomedon refuses to honor their agreement, Poseidon sends a sea monster to destroy the city. This myth highlights Poseidon's role as a punisher of those who disrespect the gods, especially when it comes to matters of promises and oaths. Poseidon's legacy endures in modern culture, where he continues to be a symbol of both power and unpredictability. His trident is one of the most recognizable symbols in mythology, and his association with the ocean has made him a figure of both reverence and fear. Poseidon's stories of wrath and protection, creation and destruction, continue to resonate in literature, art, and film, where he often appears as a mighty and complex deity, embodying the vast, untamable forces of nature. In conclusion, Poseidon stands as one of the most important and powerful gods in Greek mythology. As the god of the sea, earthquakes, and horses, he was a figure who could both protect and destroy, reflecting the dual nature of the ocean itself. His involvement in key myths, his relationships with other gods, and his powerful influence over the natural world all contribute to his enduring legacy as a god of immense power, unpredictability, and complexity. Poseidon's role as a divine figure who embodies both creation and destruction speaks to the ancient Greeks' deep reverence for the forces of nature and their belief in the gods' ability to shape the world around them.